Hey, great day to you. In this video, we are having a tutorial of SmartScout. In this tutorial, we're going to go through the tools that we did not go through in the previous tutorial of SmartScout. SmartScout, by the way, is a software for Amazon sellers, popular with private label, wholesale. And in the description, we're going to have the first part, which we recorded with Scott Needham, the founder of SmartScout, where we dove deep into SmartScout. We went through most of the tools. However, today with Michael from SmartScout, we are going to go through the remaining tools and kind of see how they work and showcase to you, the viewer, how they work. In the description, also, we're going to have the first video with Scott, so you can watch it later to see how all the other tools work. And also, there's going to be a 25% off for 3-month link, special affiliate link that you can use to save money, and a coupon code VOVA25, VOVA25, which helps you save 25% off for 3 months. Michael, welcome, man. What's up?
Hey, Vova, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to fill in the blanks that Scott has left out from SmartScout. I currently hold the role of head of affiliate partnerships at SmartScout, but you might also know me previously from Helium 10. So it's been quite a journey in the e-com space, having my own brands before joining Helium 10, and now I recently marked year 2 at SmartScout. So it's
Nice, man.
been years of immersion in an Amazon-focused e-commerce software. So I'm really excited to show you guys some of the cool powers of SmartScout.
Yeah, please do, man. And
All
yeah,
right.
let's share the screen and
Let's hop into it. Okay,
all right.
so I'm gonna hop in, sharing screen now. So I believe Scott showed this page as well, but I also like to start with it. The thing that I typically say is that SmartScout is a little bit different software than what else is out there. And the reason for that is that the tools that we have, the core tools that we have, if you have SmartScout, and if you've seen our dashboard when you first log in, our core tools would be categories, brands, sellers, products, and keywords. Those are not like tools where it's like, hey, this tool is exactly for this and that tool is exactly for that. Really, what they are is, and to allude to what SmartScout itself is, it's a really, really powerful database on the Amazon marketplaces. And it's organized very clearly. And those tools that I mentioned are like injection points into this database where you can do, level analysis, cross-dimensional analysis. Really, in today's competitive landscape, you can investigate every facet of the ecosystem to gain an edge against your competition, to understand the market, and to improve your product sales or mine out products, tons of different purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. The first tool on my list that I have that Scott didn't get a chance to go into would be AI Listing Architect.
Hmm.
And then that's followed right by the Chrome extension. So I figured I'd kind of maybe tackle those two a little bit together. So first things first. So the AI Chrome extension, or sorry, I combined the two into one because I'm
Yeah.
thinking about them at the same time. So
Uh,
AI Listing Architect, what you can do is in a matter of seconds, you can basically build an Amazon listing or improve one. For the purpose of this demo or demonstrating it, I'm going to actually use an existing listing.
hmm.
When you build from scratch, basically the idea is whether you're building from scratch or building from existing, you're basically you'd put in your ASIN if you're building from scratch, and then you would add a number of competitors, like direct competitors to your product, which SmartScout would use to mine out the different search terms that those competitors are showing up for, the search volume of the search terms and relevancy. And you'll see that in 1 second here. When you're building from an existing listing, so you can like refine your listing for A/B testing or whatnot, you're just entering an ASIN, and then SmartScout basically does it automatically. Here you could see on my view, I've done a ton of ASINs already.
Hmm.
Here we have a radio. So let's actually go ahead and open this guy. Or actually, before I do, my goal was to, let me see if I can open this. My goal was going to be just to show you this listing on Amazon. So, okay, so we've got some kind of, this is the last one I happen to have done, and we're kind of pairing the AI Listing Architect with our Chrome extension that just loaded. So basically, I'm on a listing page now that I came here with the idea to show you that this listing is not too well optimized. As you can see, we've got, got really basic bullets. We do have a description. We don't have any A+ content. But you can see our Chrome extension is also loading here. You have some high-level data in terms of product page score. Now, product page score is actually the score that SmartScout will score the quality of a listing. So this is like one of the situations where, hey, if you see a score, it's out of 10. If you see a score as low as 4.8 out of 10, well, hey, that's a prime use for our AI listing architect.
Hmm.
So let's keep going with the architect, and then we can hop back to the
Yes.
extension. Volva, interrupt me anytime and ask any clarifying questions
So
that
far,
you
so
may
good, man. Yeah, it makes sense. The flow so far makes sense. We're going through the AI listing architect. We got into a product listing page, and then kind of we saw that the extension showed us that the page score is low. But now we're gonna, and this is like, as you mentioned, is a good opportunity to use the AI architect to improve the page. So yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna hop back to it and then to the extension. Thank you.
Yeah. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just going the create from existing route. But again, if you were going from scratch, it's as simple as adding, because so what happened here is actually, let me do it from the top just so the audience
Yeah,
can see. So build
yeah.
from existing listing in this case, I'm just pasting in the ASIN, hitting OK. And so what happened now is we've imported this listing as is into the listing architect. We can see the product title. We can see the keywords that it has in the title. We can see the search volume of those keywords and the relevancy.
Mhm.
Same thing across the bullet points and the description. As you can see here, it's blank. But what
Mhm.
did happen, what I keep mentioning is, so SmartScout went in and it pulled in various competing products to this product, and then it's searching for the search terms for these products inclusive of the search volume and relevancy. So when you're building from scratch, you'd put in like 5 competitors, and then based on those, SmartScout would mine out more, and it would be the same thing. You'd end up in the same position as we are right now. So really, from here, it's as simple as, actually, I do like to click the advanced view because you could choose a
Mhm.
tone. So what's going to happen now is
Mm.
we're going to use the SmartScout data and combine that with, you're going to use AI to modify the listing. Let's do a witty listing for fun. We click
Yes.
generate all, and then one click, and in seconds, maybe minutes, we're going to get this listing generated for you. Now, this is great if you want to test A/B. So as you can see, like I think we almost doubled the amount of keywords used in the title. And
Mm.
then we're obviously trying to maximize the search volume and relevancy across these used keywords. And that would be the same thing across the bullet points and the
No.
description. So that's how quickly you can generate a listing. Of course, you do have to, do a sanity test or
Mhm.
check. You don't just want to go uploading this right away. If you want specific keywords, you can add them right here.
Mhm.
If you want to, if you want the AI to consider any specific prompt things, you can add it here. But really, the idea is you're very, very quickly using a really good systematic, logical approach to optimize your listing, give you a good boost for your organic SEO and indexing on that listing. If your SmartScout is connected directly to your Amazon account, you can upload this listing to that ASIN right here.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you can just export it and copy and paste. So that would be pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Essentially, like, and if you didn't like the tone here, you could change to a formal
Well,
tone and see how that works for you. But overall, simple tool, straightforward tool, powerful tool. Essentially, watch this, taking a listing from this that we had to something like this. So very cool.
amazing, man. Yeah,
Oh,
quickly and within a few clicks. And Michael, tell me, man, in the keywords part, that means, let's say there's a keyword that we want the AI to use in the building of the listing. Let's say it did mine them automatically. Of course, it does a good job. However, we do know from our research or from our PPC or whatnot that there's other keywords. So we add them to the keywords section and then we click on generate all.
yes, that's exactly it. So by default, what's going to happen is we're going to max it. We're going to try to go for keywords typically that have, we're trying to maximize that bucket for search volume and relevancy. But if for
Hmm.
whatever reason you want to go more niche or have specific keywords, like you
Hmm.
said, you would just add them here, and then that
Hmm.
will be taken into consideration for the mix, kind of forced into that portfolio of keywords that we're using.
And of course, we can manually just add them to the ready copy right on the left, like if
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, pretty
And
cool, man. I
then
think that's pretty clear to me. Yeah, yeah. Please
yeah,
go on.
and then this gets saved in here. If you want to run A/B tests, you can, that makes it very easy to do so. Yeah, don't want to overcomplicate it. It's a simple, powerful tool. Very nice to have, within the SmartScout umbrella of tools and features. With that, we could hop back to the actual Chrome extension that we have. Now, one thing I do want to mention about our Chrome extension is, and I think you can share a link for that too. Our Chrome extension is actually free. It's free for 1,000 uses a month, which is a ton. I don't know who uses that many, but it does only work on product pages. So it won't show up in search, but you will get this top level info here, as far as bestseller ranks go, 30-day revenue, 30-day units sold, current versus 30-day average price changes. So we do have some reseller features here. If you're private label focused, this wouldn't be relevant. So you can just close that up. But if you are, hey, you have kind of a resale score based on these relevant subscores, if you want to try to acquire this inventory and resell it, then, if you do have this hooked up to your Amazon account, you will know whether you're eligible to sell this ASIN. We will highlight listing issues as far as resale goes, whether this is private label, variations, etc. But the main use case here on the right is going to be your basically your profitability calculator. So you can put in a unit cost, and as well as like if you're estimating products for private label based on competitors' products, and you're seeing, hey, we can manufacture for X price, and then you can kind of punch that into to the calculator. You can even manipulate the sale price. Let's say that we were going to try to have a lower sales price. That would all get factored in. You can add additional costs. You'll see your ROIs. You can kind of forecast, okay, well, what if I was going to do 1,000 units? How much would that investment cost me? What would be the estimated revenue? And how much stock, like at the volume of sales for this guy, how would that look in terms of FBA inventory stock? This is too much because it's not selling fast enough, so it's
Mm-hmm.
highlighted in red. And then you do have the breakdown here of the Amazon fees.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we do bring in SmartScout data. So we do see how much this product is doing on a 30-day basis, but we also tell you how much the brand is doing. This brand is doing 300,000, over 300,000. And you have other relevant details as far as how many ASINs this brand has with brand scores. So this is the page score for this page. The brand score is a composite of all these 69 ASINs. How well optimized are they? Clearly, they're not too optimized. So again, if I have a brand that's competing with ICOM and I have better listings, optimized with the listing architect and, enhanced with A plus content, like I have a good chance to compete pretty well here.
Mm-hmm.
There are other things like you can kind of build lists inside of SmartScout, which would be accessible here, or you can basically favorite this specific ASIN, and it would also be added to this list. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like little more detailed features here, which I don't think would be is great to go too deep on the call because they get a little bit specific. But just know that you do have access to a lot of customizations, including again the keep alike chart.
Yeah, man, we're gonna have a link to the extension in the description, and people can use it for free. There's limited usage, but like 1,000 uses is quite a lot. But about what is the use? Like, is it a session time or just like maybe this would kind of help those who want to start
Yeah,
and they're like kind of see.
basically when you
Mhm.
pull up an ASIN in the extension, that would count as a use.
Mhm.
But a
Well, that's
thousand
decent,
is
man.
a lot.
That's yeah. I would say for a beginner for sure, and even for
Yeah.
those who are, consistently checking for products, it's a decent amount, about 30 per day, right? If I'm counting right, a bit more
Mhm.
even. So yeah, man, and also we're gonna have a special link to get a 25% off for 3 months of Smart Scout. Works with the monthly, with the yearly plans. I think it's a good kind of discount. And I also want to ask you, man, quickly, does the extension work on multiple product pages where we have search for those, what's that, marine radio? If we type in marine radio, will we see statistics for all the marine radios?
Yeah, no, it does not work that way as we're, used to other software.
Mm-hmm.
That type of research is more so done inside of our actual tool.
Mm-hmm.
So
For that,
to
I
answer what
guess we
yeah,
can refer the first video with Scott where we use like the brands tool and
yep,
subcategories tool, which are the ones I believe you're referring to, which help with kind of product research of a niche, let's say.
yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brands tool, subcategories tool. SmartScout is very powerful as far as market research, understanding the macro and the micro.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different approach. It's hard for people to kind of switch from the hey, this is how you do things to hey, this is how you could do things, but it is very powerful. It's how big brands think. They're not
Mm, interesting.
necessarily super excited. Like they don't really care as much about a single product doing well as they care about dominating a category. And that's kind
Ooh,
of the approach that SmartScout helps see the data on.
nice.
Cool. So while we're here, okay, let's go back to the dashboard for a second. So in line with the extension and the calculator that you have there, you also do have you also do have a sales estimator built in. This is extremely straightforward. I think most tools have this. It's just a general idea of, you're looking at competing products. It's the main use case that I use. You figure out what category they're in and you see, what their BSR, their bestsellers rank is. You just find it on the Amazon page, right? And then you can put that in, and with that rank,
Hmm.
you can basically have a high level estimate of monthly sales. So super straightforward. I think everybody's pretty used to this. Again, this is fully built in.
It's
And
Michael for US market only, right? We're looking here. This is for US only at this moment, I believe.
that's a good question. I actually think not. I actually think this particular one would work for every market that we have. Yes, yes, this one does
Oh,
work for
so we need to
books, and I
change
don't want to get into
the
books.
market first. We change in the left lower side of the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah, right here. So you can
Uh-huh.
kind of see all the different markets that we
Yeah,
have.
gotta remember
Um,
that when checking,
mhm.
because yeah.
I
Mm.
will say that so our keyword functionality is currently only available in the US. We
Mm-hmm.
are actively working on other marketplaces. I think UK
Mm-hmm.
is next on the list, but generally Europe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we do hope to have that in beta before the end of the year, actually in this quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'll
Mm.
highlight like the tools that when we show them that are, not yet available in other marketplaces.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Okay, right. So sales estimator was on my list, including also. So the tools are kind of when you click off a tool, you'll have them in the sidebar, but all the tools are on the dashboard. So we
Mm-hmm.
also do have, so I kind of couldn't find it quickly, so I dived back into the dashboard. FBA calculator. So this is similar to what we have in the extension. This is really awesome. I really love the way that we did this in terms of helping you optimize size tiers. Sometimes it's just a matter of strategically
Mm.
modifying the broader packaging that your product comes in, and it can make a huge difference as far as size tiers. And that's what we show you right here. Next lower tier one, next lower tier two, and the impact that it will have on your margins. In this case, it's not huge, but this definitely can have an absolutely huge impact, and you just have to take a closer look at it. But very straightforward. You put in an ASIN, and we'll pull in the details from Amazon. You can then play with all the different parameters and see
Mm-hmm.
the impact that they have on net profit, net margin, everything else.
Mm-hmm. Pretty clear, man.
So again, pretty straightforward on that one. So, okay, so I guess let's see. I'm not going to go straight into our keyword tools yet. The next thing that I have on my list is traffic graph. So
Mm-hmm.
traffic graph it's a very cool and interesting tool. It is kind of, I would say, a creative tool, but let me explain like what this is and how it works. So basically, you can start with a keyword or an ASIN. And then what's going to happen? Let me actually maybe click on one of these ASINs first to give a good, um, let's see if I can hop over to this ASIN first. So when you are on any ASIN on any product page,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you notice this frequently bought together. And Amazon does like arrange this differently. They sometimes call this frequently bought together. Sometimes it's customers also bought. But generally speaking, it's real estate within the product listing that is kind of like you can't advertise to get here, right? You have to literally be bought with that
Mm-hmm.
product, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so what we've done is we've actually reverse engineered like what does that actually look like behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this traffic graph is.
Mm-hmm.
So in this particular case, when you're searching for keto chocolate, right? Imagine you're searching for keto chocolate with that keyword, you're going to be presented with a whole bunch of results. At the top of the results, you'll have these guys in the gold rings. Those will be, top of page one, the
Mm.
top results. But then the truth is that there's a whole web of products being bought together behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is, I mean, there's various applications here. That's what I mean to say. But one of the applications is, okay, I am trying to rank for keto chocolate. These guys are at the top. A lot of them are likely paying to be at the top. The cost per click to get up top is very expensive. What are some other strategies I can implement and still get, improve my sales essentially? So what you want to identify is I want to identify products that have a lot of these arrows. You see, the purple arrows are inbound traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can see is all those products around the circle, or I can double click on it. Actually, in that example, I clicked on this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see all these 13 ASINs. If I'm on their
Oh,
product
wow.
pages, we've identified them showing frequently bought together, and then it was this guy showing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine I have a keto chocolate product. I want to boost my traffic. So I'm going to identify all the products or, a basket of products that have a lot of traffic coming in. And then I can just set up basically targeted campaigns and funnel that traffic in organically, like not organically, but sponsored traffic. So then basically what's going to happen is when I'm on any one of these product pages in this ring, these product pages in this ring, these product pages in this ring, I'm gonna be get start getting sponsored traffic there. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I hope I'm
you're saying that
uh,
if a product is getting a lot of frequently bought together to that product, all right, and then we
mhm.
want to show our sponsored ads on that product, of course, if we are if we are having a similar product, of course, right? And then because they get so much traffic from frequently bought together, then there's more chances of our ads to get more clicks, if I understand correctly, because, well, these
Uh,
are
I guess I left something out. So when you build your PPC campaigns, the product target campaigns, you can have an automatic campaign that will kind of run this process, spend a bunch of money, and eventually the idea is it'll end up with a similar situation where these relevant
Mm,
products
I
that
see
are
what you
bought
mean.
in combination to similar products that I compete with, they're driving that traffic. So we're basically going to skip to that using this tool. So if I had a keto chocolate product, what I would do is I would like find, between 5 and 10, let's say, of these products that are getting a lot of relevant traffic for this search term, right? This is all
Mm-hmm.
keto chocolate. This one was the main keto one, right? But again, keto. So my product is definitely going to be in this ecosystem, but I want to grab all this traffic that these products that are highly sought after get and put it into my own campaign. So that's one use case. The other use cases around traffic graph. Oh, one thing to highlight, by the way, is if you zoom in,
Mm-hmm.
you can see these numbers.
Mm,
So basically, these are the amount of times that we identified this guy showing up on this guy's product page in a 30-day period. So it is kind of just an indication of how the strength of that traffic. So that's just something to keep in mind. And yeah, the other use case would be you can really use this if you do have, a keto chocolate product already, you
mm-hmm.
can use this map to identify other potential good product opportunities, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and so one thing that would be interesting for me to research is if I'm doing keto, why are they showing me this Belgian wafer? Wait, how did that happen? This
Mm-hmm.
cracker, which I don't get how that's keto since that's like sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But people on keto diet maybe like to cheat. I don't know what it is, right?
Yes.
But that's the idea here. You can find an interesting web of customer journey. You can
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah,
use that
yeah,
in
yeah.
your what's this? I see you see oh, this is marinara sauce, but yeah.
Yeah, people love to cook,
Okay.
I guess. Somehow again, this means that these are getting traffic from one to another, this were another. So like it might be a keto bar, but somehow people for some reason after buying other foods, they just go to a keto bar that's been shown to them and they kind of keep going. So there is that
Yeah.
traffic that we can see. And yeah, so then based on, based on these webs, we can find either similar products
Yeah.
or just get new ideas for products in a specific niche. Of course, probably we're not going to see like, like some hammer appearing here, right? Most likely. Although it still might, but chances are.
Sometimes I would see like we were looking at like a supplement and we'd find like scales or go into electronics and stuff. Sometimes it does happen, but you could identify basically cheaper advertising opportunities. So it's again, like I said on the outset, this is a tool you can definitely get creative with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so next on my list, I see, okay, so we're getting to some keyword tools. Before I do have UPC scanner here.
hmm
So UPC scanner is definitely going to be for more for resellers, but anybody can really make use of this. So the idea is basically, it's very simple. You can upload a list of UPCs or ASINs, and that's as simple as having a Google Sheet, a CSV with UPC or ASIN in one column, the price that you get for it in the other. And then so you basically just upload that here. It's basically two data points. You can also add the price that you plan to sell it on. But once you do, you just click scan. And what SmartScout will do is it'll match that UPC or ASIN to the actual product on Amazon. It'll
hmm
find the buy box price, the current buy box price. It will find all the fees and help you figure out this. Again, this is for
For
like
resellers.
wholesale
Yeah.
resellers. They
Mhm.
use this kind of tool a lot. And it'll show the products that have a good margin, the products that might be out of stock on Amazon, who the dominant seller is, how many units sold, all relevant information about that ASIN. So this is mostly a reseller tool.
Yeah, pretty awesome, man.
But
I also remind our listeners we have the best discount for Smart Scout in the description. That's 25% off for 3 months, and this can help people try it out at a better price. Works with all the plans. And yeah, man, thank you for sharing the UPC scanner now.
Yep, absolutely. So cool tool. I'm sure there's also, it's basically, if you want to analyze a group of ASINs in a table and export it, this is also a great way to do it. So I'll wrap with that. Finally, well, you do get a chance to select like what price you're basing things off at. So we'll go off the buy box price if you select that upon import, but you can also
Mm-hmm.
go on seller price if you had a different pricing in mind. Okay. So, okay, well, we are getting into our product tools.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go. If we're going to talk about product tools and keywords, we need a product. Vova, do you have any interesting product or product category we could use as an example, as just for to
Yeah,
demo
I,
this?
I
I
was
can
saying
certainly
hammer
go
before
into
that. So
hammer.
yeah, yeah.
I wonder what the hammer market is on it. Actually, let's
Mm-hmm.
So check this out. I'm going to use this. This tool wasn't on my list, but I'm going to show something real quick. So we do have a thing called custom segments. This lets you kind of cross-reference all of our database, and you can
Mm-hmm.
you can work off of a brand or product subcategory. You can just build one completely manually. So I'm going to hit products,
Mm-hmm.
and then in this case, I'm going to. So you said hammers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like MC Hammer.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Okay, anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search our entire database for any product on Amazon.com that has the word hammer in it. Okay, this is not going in a direction. Well, I should have thought about this. As we can see, it's actually pulling up the brand, the
Hammer
Hammer,
end. Okay.
Arm& and Hammer
Okay.
brand. So I'm going to filter down to you're thinking hammers, so tools and home
Mm-hmm.
improvement. So we'll make sure to filter down to the
Mm, nice.
category that we're interested in. And that's
Hmm.
more like it. A
Yeah.
pneumatic hammer.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
talking about, of course, a manual hammer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 That's what I was thinking about.
So I
Hmm.
don't know what the actual subcategory for that would be. Would it just be hammers?
Well, or otherwise we could do, we can do metal hammer or something like that. Or there we see jewelry hammers.
Hammers and pounding toys, arts and crafts.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
the
interesting. Oh,
catalog
that's
the
uh-huh.
catalog on Amazon goes deep. But the simplest way to just
For
check that
hammer game.
is
Yeah.
like, wait, I'm in searching. Okay,
What
all.
was the song by MC Hammer, man? I'm still well, that's quite. He has quite many, probably, but mostly, I guess his most popular one. It's anyway. So you found the claw hammers, that is right. The
Yeah, so I guess that's what we're looking at. That's what we're interested in.
okay.
So we would. I'm just doing this to just show another functionality of SmartScout. But so
Mm-hmm.
essentially,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to claw hammers, and we want all products with the keyword hammer in it. So there's 301 on Amazon. I'm going to save segment. So this is pretty cool because now you can see, okay, so hammers are any product in the actual claw hammer category on Amazon that has the word hammer in it,
Mm-hmm.
that's over $500,000 a month on Amazon. Crazy. I would have figured everybody's got a hammer already in their toolbox, but
Mm-hmm.
do they break? I don't know. So you do get some top level info here, which is pretty cool. Most of the hammers on Amazon are really well optimized, so that's not going to be really a strategic advantage there. There's lots of reviews and ratings. Average price, surprisingly, more expensive than I would have thought.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got 85 brands, so you can look at that from a brand perspective. So we see eSwing is going to be the best brand here, doing 100K a month in with just those products. But again, this is just the one subcategory we're talking about, claw hammers.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going off on a tangent here, showing a little bit of SmartScout side tools. You can see all the sellers now. So look, so we have 85 brands, 300 products, but only 140 sellers are selling them, including Amazon Books, which is super strange. So, and then finally, search terms. All the search terms that these 301 products have been identified under, there are 515 of them, and they basically have 1 million clicks in terms of monthly traffic. Anyway, so why were we going here? We were going to
Mm-hmm.
we're going to go into our keyword tools. So let's go ahead and find, okay, so it looks like at the product side, the best-selling hammer, claw hammer on Amazon is this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm in a product tab. So as you know, SmartScout, you get a bunch of tabs. At first, it's a little overwhelming, but once you get used to it, it gets really second nature and it's very intuitive. So this guy is actually sold by Amazon.com. They have 100% of the buy box in the last, or almost 100% in the last 30 days, some top level product info. But to dive into the keyword tools. So at the ASIN level, I can click on search terms. What this is going to do is show me the top organic search terms. So essentially, page one search terms. We don't go beyond. And in fact, I was recently reading an article, if not to go another tangent, about Google's going to stop showing or ranking rather results after page 20 or something like this when you search on Google. This is what I
Mm-hmm.
read. It's kind of a crazy time we're entering. But anyway, so these are the top organic search terms. We've identified 100 search terms. You will see, obviously, hammer is the main one. You'll see the monthly search volume. You'll see the trend of the search term. You'll see buyer's intent. You'll see a track of the ranking of this product. And I don't know if Scott showed this stuff. I forget if he showed
I
went
can't
this deep
recall
on
if we've
this.
seen Rank Maker, to be honest. We might have, but it's always good to see it from another perspective, man. And
I guess I'm just preluding into the because the next thing that I have on the line is relevancy quadrant and keyword detective, which I'm about to go into, but
mm-hmm.
just kind of trying to keep the progression into how
Beautiful, man.
the SmartScout data gets deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, on SmartScout for any product, so you could see the 30-day organic rank. You could see how that varied over 30 days. If you want to track it into perpetuity, you just click here and hit track. And so now I'm going to be tracking hammer for this ASIN into perpetuity. Okay, so next on the line, we have relevancy quadrant. This is, again, a simple visualization tool, but very powerful because as we know, we get overwhelmed with keywords. You do some of these searches in other tools and you have to go with these arbitrary kind of, search, like you choose the volumes, the organic, you go through all these kind of complicated methods which are supposed to help you do better, but we do like to simplify things in SmartScout. So here it is, relevancy quadrant. So for this ASIN, what are the most relevant keywords? So what are the most relevant keywords? Well, they're keywords with the highest relevancy and highest search volume. So relevancy, right? So how is that like what do I mean there? Relevancy, when somebody searches for a keyword for a product, what is the conversion rate for that product on that keyword? That's what makes the keyword relevant
Mm-hmm.
to the product.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's literally all this is. It helps you highlight, from the top keywords, which keywords belong in the target quadrant, which has the highest relevancy and search volume. And then, so you would see that here, claw hammer, hammer, hammers.
So, Michael, this means that this ASIN B01HD6 and
Uh-huh.
80W, that hammer, it means that it got sales from those keywords, and hence this is relevant. Do I understand
Uh,
correctly? Or
so
or
uh,
or different ASINs are getting sales on these keywords that are relevant.
that's what generally that's what keyword relevancy is. Yes, exactly. And that does come from Amazon. And so, and by the way, you can also view this, and maybe this will help make some more sense as well. You can actually just view this as a table.
Uh-huh.
So relevancy is determined by for a target ACE, and then comparing similar products, how many of them also rank on those search terms. So it's defined a little bit differently, but the idea is that keywords that are relevant for your listing are the one that are going to drive the most conversions.
Yeah, yeah, of
Um,
course. And this is in the relation to, I'm curious, just to hammer as a keyword or that ASIN that we have. You know what I mean? Like, or both of them. So it means like for hammers, this ASIN that we have is the most relevant, so it probably will sell there. Also for Irwin hammers,
yeah,
claw
yeah, this is
hammers.
definitely relevant to this ASIN.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Then
this
I
is
understand.
specific to this ASIN, based on the data to this ASIN. What is cool here is also you've got buyer intent.
Hmm. Yeah. So if it's lower, it's like just they're interested. Maybe if it's just hammers, they're doing some research. But when it's like, what do we have there? Construction hammer. Maybe they're also doing research, but it's more relevant. I mean, it's more long tail, and long tail usually
Yep,
kind of
exactly. Yeah,
is a sign
exactly.
for a higher buyer
Exactly.
intent because they're like really trying to describe what they're looking for, and usually that means a higher buyer intent.
Yeah, that's a pretty like exactly like you said. If I'm searching, I'm like, what are the best hammers? But then, hammer is kind of like this hammer almost. Or
Hmm.
Irwin hammer, right?
Hmm. All right. Relevancy quadrant. Cool,
Uh,
cool. Yeah. Nice for
okay,
also
so let's
for understanding your niche. We can, you know, try and
yeah,
test
so
these keywords in ads, add them to our listing. And actually, it
yeah.
was just a follow-up question. Maybe partially the AI listing architect, it's kind of going to use some of those keywords if we do input all these ASINs there.
Yes, it
There's a chance.
automatically does. It basically automatically takes into consideration this exact data.
Interesting. Cool, cool,
So
man.
yeah. So that's one thing. And then so again, going into more keyword tools, we've also got the keyword detective. So this one is very cool. Oh, interestingly, we're not identifying any ads for this keyword, this product. But we can check out another product, but probably we shouldn't have gone with the best-selling product because it's just such a powerful organically ranking product that they're not even advertising on it, at least as far as
Mm-hmm.
we've identified. But to go over Keyword
Interesting.
Detective, this is a really, really, really awesome tool. So, and by the way, you can do this. So right now we're doing this on the product level, but you can also do this on the brand level, and you can also do it even on the category level. What is it? As you can see, you have this Venn diagram. So our hammer with the red asterisk is right here.
Mm-hmm.
These two are other hammers. You can select that. You can choose who you want to show up here manually. It'll pull something in automatically. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll leave it as such for example's sake, but the idea is you want to find your two biggest competitors or like a list of competitors, but you'll be comparing them in this three-part Venn diagram.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this case, organically, our hammer, and the two other competing hammers, they are all showing up organically for these keywords right here. We're all showing
Mm-hmm.
up for these. However, these two big competitors are showing up for these keywords, but for whatever reason, our listing
Mm-hmm.
is not. So that's something that's important to investigate and figure out what is happening. And then these are keywords that search terms that we have that they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing would be true on the paid side. Let me see if I can quickly hop over to another product. Maybe we'll have some more. This one looks like a private label guy, Mr. Penn. So maybe they will be advertising. So I'm going to hit on search
Mm-hmm.
terms again, just like we did last time. And then I'm going to hit on keyword detective. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So here we see these guys are really okay. So Mr. Penn is advertising. There's a guy that's advertising more, but on the paid side, we're all advertising on these keywords. My two biggest competitors are advertising on these keywords. Why
Mm-hmm.
am I not advertising on these keywords? I'd have to look.
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Mm-hmm.
very powerful. And then we also do have an add-on, which is Ad Spy. So Ad Spy, if you click on Ad Spy, what it will do at the product level, it'll identify the search terms that we've identified this ASIN being advertised under. Wow, there's even a Chinese one. And then you can see basically the estimated search volume for that keyword, and then you will see the win rates for these search terms that this ASIN has been identified at.
What is a win rate, Michael?
Win
Maybe.
rate, it just basically means that it's showing up.
Uh-huh.
So since there's that bid system, so basically imagine searching for mallet and
Uh-huh.
then seeing this guy in the sponsored section show up as one of the few that show up. That
Mm-hmm.
would be
Yes.
that's what that would be. So in this
Uh-huh.
case, the interesting thing is that this guy seems to have video ads. So we've identified him in video ads under mallet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Small percentage, but that's what the data shows. And okay. At any ASIN level, by the way, you can click on it and you can see other relevant products. You want to take a quick look at your competitors. We can see we have about 100 products that are similar to our product. So that's kind of like a quick, hey, which products compete to this product
Mm-hmm.
view? Let's see. Okay, I think that covers most of the things I have on the list, but there are some other cool things that I can show. So, all right. So where are we in SmartScout terms? So we created a segment here, and that's where we started doing this hammer research. And then we just started exploring two different products. So one cool thing that we recently added is called link traffic. And what
Mm-hmm.
this does, I don't know, great, this is actually a good example.
Mm-hmm.
So this hammer, as you will know and your audience knows, you're savvy in the affiliate space.
Mm-hmm.
So, Amazon Associates program, like you will have affiliates that will go out and just drive traffic to random products. But sometimes these brands will go after these sites and get them to drive traffic to their listings. So in this case, we have this hammer right here. Our hammer was, what's this brand again? Mr. Penn, which
Mm-hmm.
is like this, I guess it's like a miniature hammer. And the cool thing is they have a lot of affiliate sites. These are going to be blogs or just like review sites, things like that. With 47 that we identified, multiple have multiple links driving traffic back to Amazon directly to this ASIN. So how do I use this? Well, if I'm competing with this product, I want the same. So I can basically pull this list down and reach out or have a VA go ahead and reach out to every single one of these sites and entice them, or you can even collaborate with, you could use a tool like Levanta to offer them custom deals, but you want you also want these sites sending traffics to your ASIN. And also, again, we had been on the product itself and we found relevant products. I'm going to go through every one of these other hammers in this case, and I'm going to find if they have other sites that are sending them
Mm-hmm.
traffic. And so I'm going to go through all my competitors. Like this one only's got two. But the key is, there's various ways to win, and external traffic is a big factor in that. So that's a really cool, unique tool that we have. By the way, another tool that I wanted to highlight is, okay, so this Mr. Penn is funny. I like it. Um, we can go into the Mr. Penn brand. Okay, wait, sorry. So this is the Mr. Penn store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What? 8 million is huge. So Mr. Penn, I'm going to the brand. I'm crawling over to the brand. So Mr. Penn is actually, looks like not just that hammer, they have everything from gel ink pens to hammers. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
big, huge brand,
Mm-hmm.
kind of probably now hopping into different things that. Scott showed on the previous call. But what I want to show is this. This is very cool. At the brand level, we have the promotions tab.
Mm-hmm.
This will give you insight into like if Mr. Penn is my competitor, I
Mm-hmm.
want to see like let's see what they did for Prime Day. I can see the products that they ran ads on. I can see whether it was a lightning deal or a Prime exclusive,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see what time frames they what ASINs they ran discounts on, what was the average discount, what was the time frame, why is this important? Well, let's say that they only discounted by 15%, but I, in preparation for Prime Day, discounted by 50%. If like the majority of my competitors only discounted by 15% and I went all the way to 50, well, I did not need to give up that much margin. So again, this goes back to like SmartScout just being a tool, a software, a database that gives you like an unprecedented level of access into your competitive and market ecosystem. I think I will end with that. I don't know if I guess there's one more I'll show you here.
Michael, in the
Marketplaces.
promotions, just before we hop into marketplaces, how
Oh, sure.
long back does the data go there? We saw
Oh, that's a
August,
great
July.
question. That's a great question. So it depends on the level of your plan. I think
Hmm.
I'm not sure you get access to this on basic, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
but you might, but it's going to be like 30 days and then it
Mm.
goes to, pardon me for not remembering the exact
It's
time
okay.
frames on access levels, but just know that the higher tier you have, the further back you'll be able to go
Mm-hmm.
as far as this goes.
Yeah, we're gonna leave in the description the pricing page as well. It's kind of mentioned there, I believe, for different tools. But yeah, you wanted to go to marketplaces. Yeah, please
Yeah,
do.
exactly. Yeah, marketplaces. So, cross-border is a valuable strategy. If you're having a hard time competing in one marketplace, you can research another marketplace. And in fact, I actually was on a video with Knock Knock, and we were kind of demonstrating this in SmartScout, and we found that the market for radio-controlled boats or plane, like toys, essentially, was growing at a faster rate in the Mexico marketplace. So if that was your product niche, that would be an interesting strategic thing to explore. But basically,
Interesting.
in this case, at the brand level, you can see how a brand is doing in other marketplaces. So of course, they're crushing it in the US. Their
Mm.
next biggest market, I don't know what the exact exchange rates
Uh,
are,
Canada, maybe.
but
Say.
yeah, looks like Canada, half a million
Yeah,
bucks a month.
yeah.
So lots and
Nice.
lots of different
Mhm.
tools and features in SmartScout, but I don't want to overwhelm, so I'd like to stop here and see if you had any questions on anything, or if you think we should go back and
Well,
clarify.
I'll remind our listeners, viewers, that we have again the offer in the description, 25% off for 3 months, a special link and a coupon code. There is also a video with Scott from SmartScout, the founder, the first video we kind of did where we kind of went through other tools. So that'll be useful for people to watch to understand how SmartScout works and other tools that we have not been going through today, such as the seller map, which is pretty cool, I think, one of the nicest tool, I think. And Michael, do you think we could go through the pricing quickly of SmartScout before we wrap it up? And again, we'll have the pricing page in the description, but just for people to understand, please, man, if you have a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can start with the Chrome extension just to get a little bit of a feel.
Mm.
That's free, as we mentioned. Then you'd go into our basic plan. So at the basic level, you can do product research. So what that means is you'd be able to access the product features and go into these different facets that we highlighted at the back end. You have, I think it goes up to 4,000 scans with the Chrome extension. I don't think I'm going to go into every single facet here. I'll try to
Yeah.
highlight just the key
Yeah.
key things. But with the Essentials plan, you're able to basically start going into more detailed brand research. And with business, you get into the actual like advanced market research. It's kind of hard to in a nutshell differentiate the plans. But you do have every single thing, almost every single thing highlighted here, so you
Yeah.
can kind of go in and take a look at what is meant. You also get more users. So basically, with one subscription, you can add users on your team to access the tool. And yeah, this is our
Mhm.
pricing. Starts at $29 a month, goes to $97 for the essentials and $187 for business. You do get a 2-month discount if you go annual as well. And the discount does stack on both of these options.
Mhm.
And it's important to highlight that there is a 7-day money back guarantee. Try it without any fear. Up to 7 days, you get, a no questions asked refund. And after that, it would be a prorated refund from what I understand.
Yeah. And also, there's the enterprise plan for bigger agencies or brands on the right. I want to say to our viewers that we're going to have another video with Michael where we kind of go deep into the enterprise. We're going to have it in the description because if you're an enterprise level person watching or listening, then we have the other video in the description is going to be added if it still is not there, but we should add it. And this will go deep into how SmartScout helps enterprise sellers, but maybe in a few kind of words, Michael, if you could mention that what like how can SmartScout help enterprise
Yeah,
brands?
absolutely. So the thing about enterprise is that's when you get into historical data and you can start
Mm,
looking at you can start looking at actual markets on Amazon. So if you think about Amazon, it's a collection of I think like 40,000 different markets. We looked at the hammer, the jaw hammer market
hmm
today,
hmm
but you can see how that overlaps with brands, with products in terms of market share historically over time, and you can start overlaying things like pricing changes over time. So typically, we do have large agencies and brands using the enterprise tools and features. Some of the actual biggest Amazon sellers in the world do use these features, so they are very powerful. And yeah, so we will be going into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah, there's gonna
On
be an
the
option also on the pricing page which is in the description to talk to sales. So as there's the button where we can, I believe, schedule a call about the enterprise with the Smart Scout team. Would appreciate if you, the viewer, if you are an enterprise seller or a brand, mention my name once you register. And if ever you're gonna do business with the guys, I'm gonna get a little commission from that. And yeah, helps me keep my content free. So you can mention my name, Vova Evan, and I'm sure the guys will do well to help and do their best. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So the way that the enterprise flow works is you click talk to sales and you're taken to a brief survey to help
Mm.
guide the sales team for the call.
hmm
And after you fill this out, you'll be taken to a calendar to find a convenient time to book a call. And
hmm
that's where you have a box where you could just put in, hey, saw a video on Vova's channel. That will be really helpful for context for our sales team. So
hmm
that's
All
the way
right.
that works. And we'll be talking more about it on another video as well.
Awesome. So, final reminder, viewers, in the description we have the best offer for Smart Scout. It's going to be a link to click to see like a special landing page with where you can see the cross price to understand exactly how much you save with that 25% off for 3 months. It works for the monthly, for the yearly plans. And also we have the video with Scott Needham, the founder of SmartScout, where we kind of went through other tools of SmartScout. So I do definitely recommend watching that one. Pricing page we have in the description, Chrome extension. I'm just trying to remember all the links we had. They're going to be in the description anyway. So I will definitely do that in the post-production. Michael, thank you, man, for today, for your time, for explaining to us the tools that we haven't covered. And yeah, they're pretty awesome. They can help us with product research, kind of further keyword research, listing optimization with the architect and whatnot. So yeah, of course, if you viewers have any more questions, share them in the comments. We're going to get back to you and help you out. Yeah, thanks, man, for today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Vova. It was a pleasure and it was fun.
Thank you, man. Thank
So.
you for your time. Thank you.